he has a very successful startup called eWater. Let me share a brief introduction of him. He is graduated from the University of Gambia with a major in developmental studies and a minor in the environmental studies. After some teaching and coordination experiences on various projects, he worked at Agency for Development of Women and Children. Then at 2015, he started his own business with eWater, which is basically a water service that provides water service provider actually that supplies sustainable water. It's not serving in Gambia these days. It is serving in Tanzania and Ghana too. Now he is a shareholder at eWater, as far as I know, and he continues with his own company called Direct Business Limited. I'm sure Mr. Dumbuya will better inform us about all of his startups and company and all his stories with all of them. I don't want to steal his material anymore, and I want to give the floor to him. So, Mr. Dumbuya, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Batul. I'm very much happy and delighted to be here in this platform. This is a privilege that most of the young people are aspiring for, so they can showcase their talents to the rest of the world. And it's an opportunity for me to be here with you all. I greet you all. Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I am Mustapha Dumbuya, as alluded by Batul. I'll be with you for the next 1 hour, trying to share with you some of the success stories that we have registered in the Gambia and some of the challenges we are also able to mitigate in order to arrive to this position. So thank you so much. There and then we can go to the presentation proper. I can recognize many faces here. That's some of the people I met in Bahrain and as well as Istanbul. My regards and greeting to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We can start with presentation if you want, or do you prefer the video?
I think we can start with the video so that people can have an overview of what I'm going to say. Yes, it's a 6-minute short video. So yeah, I will love it.
Okay.
Had a mobile phone.
15 years ago, less than 1% of Africans had a mobile phone. Now 76% of Africans have a phone and are paying the mobile phone companies for airtime and paying to charge their phones, but most are still drinking parasite-infested water from open wells. And 2,300 people die every day from drinking dirty water. Billions of pounds have been spent on installing water supply in Africa by donors and governments, and most of the systems break down within 6 months to 2 years and they stop working. That's just a fact, and that cycle has been going on for 30 years and we're still doing the same thing.
Problems with leaks in the pipework, pumps failing to pump, water tanks leaking, the taps on the tap stands actually breaking, and water literally just pours all over the floor, which produces stagnant water, stationary water, which actually then is a breeding for mosquitoes and other waterborne diseases.
With the solar systems, they often just people leave the taps on, and as soon as the tank's filled up, the water just gushes out and they all rush up and get the jerry can and have a scrap at the tap. And then, they still only have the water for an hour or two a day, twice a day. So, so the current systems are just not well managed because people are not paying for water at the point of use.
Normally open at 9 o'clock to 12, and in the evening also 5 to 6. Yeah, it was so difficult for us, honestly.
In most of the communities I came across, I found a very good infrastructure of water system, but because little more money is being collected or no money is being collected to maintain the system will break down and nobody is responsible. It has erupted into many fighting, many gossiping, and this has left its stain on the social life of the local people.
We don't have enough taps, enough taps here, and we have many people using different one type,
So fundamentally, the biggest problem is they break and there's no one to fix them, and there's no money to pay for somebody to fix them. Mobile phone companies weren't afraid to use the most advanced technology in very rural areas. Instead, they embraced technology to deliver a service which has transformed people's lives. And we wanted to do the same by providing access to clean water.
I think eWater system is one of the best systems in getting water.
It's a low-cost system and it can operate even in the most rural bits of Africa.
It's so perfect because anytime you need water, you must go to the tap and fetch water for any time, even at the midnight of the day or at the midnight.
Anyone with a smartphone can buy eWater credit using the app. If you haven't got a smartphone, you can buy small amounts of credit from any eWater seller. You then take your eWater tag to the tap, put the tag against the tap, and it dispenses the water you need. It's that simple. The amount that people pay for a mobile phone in Africa would cover 10 years' worth of drinking water purchased through eWater.
I see how eWater bring a new system, and that system I'm very happy about it, because this system is a new technology in the whole world.
eWater, their water is clean, the money is safe, and then the water also is safe for us. And then eWater is the best company in this country.
eWater is better because there is no more fighting in the tap now. There is no more fighting. People pay for what they use, and then this money, they use it to maintain their system 24/7.
The eWater taps are connected by the Internet of Things to the cloud, and through our servers and our dashboard, we're able to send out alerts to our engineers to be able to go out and fix any problems within a day.
My name is Maria Mbala. I'm the eWater technician. The money that people pay to fetch water, we use it to maintain any taps that have problems. We are able to fix it in 30 minutes time or 1 hour time.
In the West, people are under the impression that poor people living in Africa aren't willing to pay for access to clean water. There almost seems to be a taboo about charging for water. However, the 13,000 people that we have buying water each day in our villages are more than willing to pay a very affordable fee if they trust that all of the money will be used to maintain the system, instead of ending up in a water user committee bank account where there are often problems of nepotism and mismanagement. And they really do trust the system.
People in the local communities are happy to buy water because they know this is the only way to sustain their water system 24/7.
It will really help the community, in terms of water supply.
The future of eWater is going to be amazing. It's going to be captivating because there are many local communities who are consulting eWater manager that they are interested to sign up with eWater, haven't seen the benefit of eWater in the other communities that are their neighboring communities.
People contact me for the other village. They need eWater to go and help.
This is the only technology available to ensure that enough money is collected fairly and transparently from users all across Africa so that taps are always maintained. It completely solves that problem. And for that reason, I think it is absolutely huge. It's incredibly exciting.
eWater, sustainable water forever.
Forever.
Forever, forever and forever.
Forever.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now we can go to the presentation proper.
Sure, thank you for the video. Let me just share the presentation.
This is myself, Mustapha Dumbuya, as you can see during my time at the University of Gambia, I one time served as the University, Gambia University Students Union, technical and logistic. And I was very much keen and involved in maintaining university facilities and ensuring that whenever there's a problem in university facilities, ranging from classroom seats, toilets, dormitory, desk, and etc., we ensure that all these things are fixed properly. So sustainable facilities has been part of my life since I was going to school. This is why even environmentally, I was even engaged in many sustainable environmental project implementation across the country in all the regions of the Gambia and the neighboring Senegal. Yeah, you can go to the next slide. So I just provide a memoir of some of the institutions I work. I work at Ministry of Forestry and the Environment. That is the logo you see, the small one on the left-hand side. This is while I was working in Ministry of Forestry and Environment of the Gambia, I was more involved in ensuring that there is more fire protection. There is no bush fire. That was our major and our most number one task. We also ensure that we implement community forestry. We all understand that environmental action, sustainable development goal, climate action goal 13, is more involved into environmental planning, environmental protection, and ensure that adaptation strategies are also employed. Notwithstanding, the same climate action is also calling for businessmen, governments, private sector to also invest into climate smart agricultural activities ranging from agroforestry, aquaculture, apiculture, and etc. So Minister of Forestry was involved in many. We will not waste more time. There and then, I studied an applied forestry certificate, and I also resigned from the Minister of Forestry. I joined ADWAC. ADWAC is a local NGO in the Gambia where I worked for almost 6 years. This organization is providing projects that are focused on ensuring that women are empowered, ensuring that women's life are standardized with children. With children in the communities. So the goal of ADWAC is to standardize people of the communities or people living in the local communities in terms of food security, gender equality, land planning, and environmental protection, etc. So after ADWAC, there was a time we joined eWater, and eWater is going to be the central of this presentation. eWater was called eWater Africa. This was the time we came together to form a charity, to form a small charity so we can attract funding. We set up an eWater Africa here. The company was established by myself and one Gambian and two European from England. But this was based on the trust and some of the work I have registered in the Gambia and the cross-border. Because I have worked with almost all the local districts of this country in all the 5 regions of the country. So eWater Africa, was able to employ my expertise so I can introduce the concept to the local authorities, to the government as well. That is the government authority responsible for water resources in the Gambia. So we introduce eWater concept to them. We share. And we also make some changes so that it can also tally with the local water principles or with the local water policy in the Gambia. So we signed an MOU with the Department of Water Resources, and we kick off with our job. We collected data, we ensure that we understand the communities that we are going to work, and we attach ourselves to them so much so that we learned a lot of story, and we put these stories into videos, we put them into writings, and we put them into our social media. We also went to, we provided this story, we provided all this information to Mobile World. This is an institution that promotes businesses that are involved in mobile money, that are involved in online payment platforms, Mobile World, or Mobile for World Development. We provided them this information and we pitched with them we were able to win a trial funding of £200,000. We used these £200,000 to develop the eWater version 1. You will see the version 2 in the presentation. The video shows you version 1. This was the time we were putting everything together for our version 2. So we trial eWater version 1. It's a small tap, not that much robust. It cannot connect to the Internet of Things. Therefore, we have a hub in every village where all these taps will correspond. All these taps will send an information to this hub. Every week or every month, we will go and remove a data card or a SIM card from the a data storage from the hub, and we will take it to the office to get information and the data that we need. So we put this data together, and we put all this information together, the challenges, the success stories, and we develop a business plan that we send to BWT, that is the best world technology in Australia. Now we have attracted a multi-million-dollar project funding for the project here in the Gambia, in Tanzania and Ghana. When we provided all this information and we sent it to Mobile World, we sent it to BWT. We have the funding. This is why we turned it from eWater Africa to eWater Pay. We registered it to eWater Pay. However, eWater Africa was also a corresponding, or is a subsidiary to Africa Water Enterprises in the UK. So eWater in the Gambia is a charity. Africa Water Enterprises is a charity in the UK that is set up in the UK to establish to be able to help and assist the Gambian team in lobbying for funding and also supporting them with charity, linking them with other charities across the globe. So after the success story in the Gambia, myself and my team, we went to implement eWater in Tanzania. We supported them from the grassroots level, ranging from community mobilizing, talking to the Ministry of Directorate of Water Resources in Tanzania, and successfully we were able to implement the eWater technology in Tanzania. And before I left Tanzania, I was able to implement 2 villages in Tanzania with the support of my team. When I come to Gambia after 4 months in the Gambia, we also sent our technician to go and implement the eWater technology in Ghana. She also implemented a village in Ghana before she came back for almost a month. So we can go after eWater Pay. Now I joined. I was able to form a business, incorporate a new business called Direct Business Limited, because what I understand is that I have been working with a lot of people, and I have done a lot to my country, a lot to many private business, multinational companies across the globe. I said, wow, I think it is time for me to set up my own business that will work at least somehow differently. How can I do things differently from what eWater Pay is doing? I am notwithstanding, I am a shareholder in eWater. I'm still a member of eWater in terms of shareholding. So I set up Direct Business Limited so that I can apply for government bidding, because I understand the government of the Gambia do implement many water projects. And some of these water projects are implemented by companies that doesn't gather more experience like I thought I have. And these are companies that doesn't work across the country as I did, and across the borders of the Gambia, geopolitical borders. I did the registration now. My second step is going to be registered with the government Gambia Procurement Authority, GPPA, so that I will be applying for bidding for government projects. So we can go to the next slide for the details. Next slide, please. Yeah, as you can see, Africa Water Enterprise, as I said, we are into standardizing the livelihood of the people of the intervention areas in terms of food security. I said that earlier, environment and gender. This is a local NGO committed to ensuring women have the best from what they are yearning for. And successfully, I work with this organization. I work in all the regions where this organization is implementing. I was part of the team that took the organization from only one region in the Gambia to the farthest region in the Gambia, to the last villages in the Gambia. I was part of the team. In fact, I was the field coordinator who was posted to the last village of the Gambia to ensure that I represent this organization to the later, to the fullest. And thank God, with the team, with the support of the local people, we were able to register a lot. We formed local organization, including women, local authorities, to support them. How can we support them? We put them into businesses that we call the warranty system. The warranty system is a sort of a business that you can support a farmer so that a farmer will not sell his products at the giveaway prices. So we make linkages with the farmers, between farmers and local banks. We make linkages between farmers and local cooperatives. We also instituted our own cooperative so that before farmers will sell their products at the low giveaway prices, they can have a soft loan from the cooperatives, from the local banks, and this will enable them to do their daily activities. This will enable them to have their daily food until a time comes when they can sell their products at a higher prices. So we encourage them to go into these businesses, and we also encourage what we call local revolving fund. This is a sort of a bank, the bank that we don't save money, but anytime they put money together, they can give this money to just one person. So it's a sort of banking that was practiced by, or a similar banking practiced by Muhammad Yunus in Eastern Pakistan, that today grew to a level called a Grameen Bank. So we are into a lot of things in supporting local women. Thank God, successfully today, ADWAC is across the country because of my pre-implementation in the farthest region of the Gambia. ADWAC deemed it necessary to redeploy me to their free country project, that is the Gambia, Senegal, and Guinea-Bissau. And I implemented this project, which was also based on ensuring that we protect the environment. We ensure that women are also supported in terms of gardening, in terms of Banki Sare is a local banking that I was talking about. We also support the local government institutions. We build them, we give them the right capacity, we train them so that they can also support the existing projects. Because project is about time. We will go back to our various projects after the project phases out. So this is why we train the local authority to come in anytime we leave or anytime the project phases out. So we also build the capacity of the local authorities. Today, ADWAC is one of the best NGO in the Gambia. Today, it's one of the best NGO in the Gambia. And in fact, even today, most of these communities are approaching me to support them. Notwithstanding, I'm not working with ADWAC, but they are still asking my expertise to support them in some of their local intervention and initiatives in their various communities. I support them in project writing, in proposal writing, and also giving them a network of funders and donors so they can also apply at their local level. We can go to the next slide. The time is going. So currently today, this wasn't part of my presentation, but I found it necessary to bring it here because I am no more into I'm no more into eWater when it comes to daily activities. I'm just a shareholder, so daily activity I'm very limited there. I give out my words and my advice as a shareholder. Now we come together, some members of eWater that are currently working there, and some of the members of eWater that have left, they sold their shareholding, but they are still working in partnership with eWater in terms of contracts. And some of the members of eWater who completely resigned, they are in the UK and other countries. We come together and said, come on, since we have this expertise working together, we have this familiarization among ourselves, we have this trust among ourselves, why not we come together and develop something important, something that we think we can benefit, especially in COVID-19. So we said, okay, before anything happens, I think we need to do a study. We need to do a study so we understand the existing situation in terms of health recording, in terms of health system in the Gambia, in terms of health data system and database management in the Gambia, so we can come up with a robust technology to address some of the gaps, to fill some of the gaps, and to also solve or find solutions to some of the problems that we think is affecting the health sector of the Gambia. So we wrote a letter to the Medical Research Institution in the Gambia called MRC. We wrote a letter to Ministry of Health in the Gambia. We got a Zoom meeting with them, and we introduced them to our technology. The technology is about eCare. So the eCare is a big data system, or a patient data storage solution. We call it a PDSS. PDSS is the patient data solution storage solution. And this is a solution that is directed to solving problems in the developing countries. So this solution will enable various institutions, various health clinics to be able to have patient or the data of a patient in remote areas through their mobile phones or through cards. You can see a small card on the table. This small card is a card that every patient will have, or every individual will have, and your data will be stored here. This small box will be attached to a mobile phone or to a computer, because we understand today mobile phone access or smartphone access in the Gambia is almost 99%. In all the remote areas, almost everybody is having a mobile phone. Every compound or household is having a mobile phone, and most of the mobile phones are now smartphones. So this will enable the clinician to record the data, the health data of a patient, and scan the card. Then he will have the data in his phone. Anytime he go back to the health post, he can use the data for any other relevant purpose. And there are a lot of data security that we are discussing with Ministry of Health and other health sectors in the Gambia, private health solutions, private healthcare practitioners. We are discussing with one of the biggest private healthcare solutions in the Gambia called Afrimed, so that how do we see that the data protection is ensured between health center to private health facilities. So this will enable clinicians both in urban and rural areas without internet to store local health information, to store information, anything that they deem necessary, ranging from blood group, the type of medication, the diagnosis being applied, the prescription being given. We'll also do a solution on justice to all this. And this will also enhance a robust health information system and effective service delivery, because we understand that in the Gambia, data management is a problem, especially when it comes to central level. They have to wait for every month or quarterly to be able to have all these data intact in place. So, but with our solution, the central level will have up-to-date data anytime they need it. There is no need to wait for every 3-month data collection. There is no need to wait for every month data collection. They will have up-to-date data anytime they need a data. So this is the most robust technology we think we can sell to the Gambian government. Work is in progress, and we are moving on day in and day out. Let's move to the next slide. Sorry. Let me know if I'm very much fast, so I can take it slowly. Universal charger. Let me know if I am very much fast, so that I can take it easy.
Should I go?
It's fine. It's good.
It's fine, Mustafa. Just carry on.
So, as I alluded earlier, eWater Pay is a business company. We are also contributing our quota to the United Nations Sustainable Goals 2030. The United Nations has a goal of providing clean water to everyone on the globe by 2030, and eWater Pay could be the technology to help accomplish that goal. eWater Pay gives residents of rural and urban communities in developing countries access to sustainable and clean drinking water. What we mean by this is that you look at the most of the developing nation in Africa and Asia, water is a problem, especially when it comes to clean water. And most of the government in most of these countries are donor-based governments. They rely heavily on donors. They rely heavily on grants so that they can find solutions to some of these problems. And one of the problems we learn in the field is that donors doesn't care. They can give you 20 million, 10 million to do a business, to establish a water system, fantastic water system in most of the Gambian communities, but management is always a problem. Most of the local people find it very much difficult, find it very much challenging to ensure that their water system is sustained. So we said, how can we solve this problem? How can you solve the problem? And we established studies, and our studies have asserted that it is always difficult to ensure that the water systems are maintenance. When there's a problem, to fix a problem is a problem. To replace parts, some of the parts when they are broken, it's a problem. To organize people is a problem. This eventually will result most of the water system being broken down for a number of years without a solution. The community people will go back sadly to the well water, to open wells, or to the hand pumps. We all know hand pumps are laborious. They are very, very laborious to the local people, especially women who are the sole providers of water to most of the households in the Gambia. So we said, I think the major problem is that most of the donors doesn't have the adequate knowledge about the communities. So therefore, we understand that most of these communities can pay a limited fund so that they don't have any problem with management. We will do the management of them. We will do the management on their behalf. So what we do is we will sign a contract with local communities and Ministry of Water Resources so that they become the supervisor of this contract. So we normally go to the to local communities, and it was banking on my expertise. eWater was banking on my experience and my skill working with communities for a number of years to go into these communities and ask them their problem and show them, sell them our proposal, sell them our concept. So the problem is nobody collect water. Nobody collect money to maintain water system. This is why water system will break. There are some of the communities, water system will break after 6 months, after 1 year or 2 years, and there will be no clean water in the entire village. They will go back to open wells. So even the hand pumps will break, and nobody will fix them. So eWater is very much crucial in this aspect. So we will go to them, we will fix their water system and ensure that everything is working tack, everything is fine, working well, and they will start paying. So what we do, as you can see in the video, everybody is registered with a tag, with a small tag. This small tag, we register it with your ID card or with your passport, and then you can go to the water or reseller or the water agent. He will buy in credit, bulk credit from eWater. We will sell them to the water agents at a 10% discount. So their profit will be 10% or 5% depending on the negotiation. So we will sell them this water credit in bulk, and they will sell it in retail prices to the local communities. So everybody can come and buy a minimum of 50 butut. So 50 butut is very small, but they can buy it to have a 20 liter of water. They can buy 20 liter of water at 50 butut or $1, because the lowest tariff we can give in terms of our sales benchmark. So this have solved a problem, because when there is a shortage of clean water, people will rush to the tap. They will rush to the tap because they will close the tap. When they close the tap they will on the tap in the morning and close it by 2 o'clock. So anytime they on the tap, everybody will rush to the tap to get water. You will find a long queue in all the taps in most of these communities, and some will gossip each other, some will quarrel, and eventually some will fight. So, but with eWater, water is there for 24 hours. Anytime you can go and collect your water. But without eWater, you must go and collect your water within the time frame. Within the time frame, you must go and collect your water. And this is why many people will be at the water station, and there will be a problem. But with eWater, you have your card. You can go at any time, at the midnight, in the midday, in the morning, in the afternoon. You can get your clean water, and we can see the problems that people are having with eWater. With eWater Cloud, we can see the number of people collecting water from each of the tap. We can address problem based on that. We can understand that this particular tap at this village, many people are there. Many people do collect their water from this tap. Then there is a necessity to do extension, to do a tap extension, so that many people wouldn't be there for a longer time. You understand what I'm saying? You will understand that if more people gather at the tap all the time, daily, we will see this in our cloud, and we will try to solve the problem by extending another tap so that we can leverage the number of people that using this tap on a daily basis. We can see problems online. Our technicians can see problems online. We can see that the number of tap, the number of water that is dispensing, there's a variance between the number of water dispensing from the tank and the amount of money we've been having. So we will understand that this is a problem. Probably there is a leakage somewhere, and we will try to find out the leakage so we understand that we don't lose any butut or we don't lose any money. If there is a problem with the tap, with the tank, we will see. If there's a problem with the tap, we will know that there's a problem with the tap is not working, then we will send a technician to go there. In fact, there is a technician supervisor who will see all these problems, and he will use the eWater care to send a message to the nearest technician, to the nearest field worker to go and solve this problem. So we can see everything online. Our technician can see everything online, and each of the members, the higher authorities ranging from managing director and senior officers can see all these problems, and we can respond to them by asking the right supervisor to send the right message to the right technician to fix the problem. So this is why communities are very much happy to come and work with us, because when they work with us, they will never do any maintenance. eWater will be responsible for 100% maintenance of the water system. So this is another benefit of eWater with regards to, as I alluded earlier, we came out as a recipient of 200,000 from GSMA World Mobile Startup Award in 2016, Mobile for Development. We were also the finalists of Tech for Good Awards. We are serving currently about more than 23,000 people across the Gambia, and successfully many villages are responding, and eWater will eventually work in all these villages. It's a multinational company operating in the Gambia, Senegal, Ghana, and Tanzania. eWater app, we have the eWater app. This is the app that our agents are using to send credit to every tap, or to send even credit online to a tap. So the tap becomes what we call the ATM. You can send a tap money to any tap, and if you want anyone to get this tap, this water, they can have it. So anywhere you are, you can buy eWater, and you can send it to anyone that you want to benefit from the from water. This is amazing. So we can go to the next slide. Thank you so much. So this one is direct business, as I said. It's purely business. It's a newest multi-purpose business. It's seek to address food gap in food delivery, seek to address sustainable transportation. We've been working across with most of the investors and also some African diaspora. Yesterday, I was lucky to be part of African Diaspora Directorate. It is an institution organization that is recognized by the Michael Luther King Foundation and most of the foundation. So we were lucky to be part of the online inaugural speech with the United Nations government yesterday, with most of the diplomats online. We were trying to find out some solution in terms of transportation system in the Gambia and across the continent, the food gap, especially in food delivery, and also local production of this food, planting of trees based on number of cars. So we also try to promote people so that they can also address climate change issues, especially people who are using many vehicles in their compounds. You understand that some rich people are using 4 or 5 vehicles in their cars, in their homes. They can use today a new vehicle, tomorrow another one, next day another one. So we want to encourage everyone to plant a tree. If you have 1 car, you plant one tree. 2 car, you plant 2 trees, so that you can also do justice to the environment. The same organization is also working with One Africa Foundation in the same project. So Friends of African Union, eWater, Direct Business Limited is also working closely with Friends of African Union. When you go to African Union on their website, you will see and you will learn a lot. from our investors. We're trying to put together a concept that we will sell to the United States government, so we can have funding for our businesses across the African continent and most part of the developing nations. So we are involved into we will be involved into water technologies and innovations. We will be looking into gaps, because we understand that every technology will have a gap. So we will learn from these technical gaps in terms of water, in terms of food security, in terms of environmental sustainability, and in terms of gender equality, and many other interventions. So we will be learning, and we will establish these gaps, and our business with the Friends of African Union will be there to directly solve some of these gaps, so that we don't do what they call duplication of efforts. We don't want to do a duplication of effort, but what we want to do is we want to learn from the existing gaps, so we can address these gaps, so we can close these gaps, and the beneficiaries can get the best from the rest. So this is the newest business that we have. I personally have registered, and it is also affiliated to Friends of Africa and the African Diaspora Directorate in the United States of America and Martin Luther King Foundation. So this is it's amazing. It's new. We are working in low space, but so successfully 2021 is going to do a lot more, inshallah. So we can go to the next slide. Sorry. So what I want to, what I mean by leadership, leadership is very important. As young business startups, we cannot inspire you with our works if we don't tell you what we call leadership. At some point, everybody is a leader. At some point, everybody is a follower. So you have to see yourself in two faces. Every startup, you must see yourself as two face. You got two face. This one face is like you are a follower. You are a follower. Another face is you are a leader. You are a leader in your innovation. You are a leader in your startup. You are a leader in your business. You are a leader as an entrepreneur. To drive your objective, to drive your goal, you must have certain qualities. If you don't have them, you will never succeed. It is very important for when we are inspiring young generation of entrepreneurs, we tell them the qualities, we explain the qualities, so that we don't leave the way, so that we don't sway from the way, so that we give the right messages. Reading the right, giving the right messages is about giving them the right qualities of a leader, of a follower. So as a leader, in your business, in your innovation, you must have what we call tenacity. You must have what we call tenacity. People of my caliber in the Gambia or across the developing nation would not love to work in the remote areas, in the rural areas. You'll say, oh, come on, after my university degree, after being recognized by the government, by most of the people, why not come and work in Banjul, come and work in the city? So most of the people don't want to work in the local rural areas. But however, with tenacity, I was able to break barriers. I live in the most remotest areas of the Gambia. I live in the most farthest areas of the Gambia. I live in the most farthest area of the Gambia as far as project implementation is concerned. In fact, I spent the whole of my life, almost 3 years in the farthest region, almost 6 years in the middle, maybe in the middle area, in the middle part of the Gambia, in the southern end of the Gambia, between Gambia and Senegal. The network is a problem. To have sometimes the clean water is a problem. To have some of the food that you need as far as rural life is concerned is a problem. But with tenacity, we were able to stay with them, live with them. Because for someone to have a trust in you, to believe in you, to believe in what you're saying, you must believe in him. You must respect his culture. You must be prepared to live with him. You must be prepared to live with them. This is why this will encourage them to affiliate themselves with you. I was able to, with the help of God and my team, I was able to build this strong coat, to build this strong back, to stay with the local people so I can sell my agenda. So tenacity is very important in inspiring aspiring leaders, aspiring entrepreneurs, emerging leaders, emerging business and startups. So we need to have this quality of tenacity. We must build what we call honesty. We must be honest to ourselves. Whatever we're saying, we must be honest. Otherwise, people will adopt the technology and they will run away. This is why today I become a hot cake in the Gambia. My profession is environment and community development. My profession is basically community development and environment. But most people will be surprised. Why am I driving these technologies in the Gambia, in Tanzania and Ghana? Most people will be surprised. But Mustafa, your area, your field of study is not technology. Your field of study is environment and community development. Why are you driving these business which are solely and entirely on community on technology? But because this technological business, they've seen this quality in me that I got this tenacity. I'm not very honest, but I'm trying to be honest. I don't want to exaggerate, but I'm happy that my people always said Mustafa is an honest man. So honesty is very important. This is why we were able to drive business. This is why we are able to drive local organizations, and we have recommendations from them. They recommend me. I will leave my job. I will resign from my job, and I will ask for a letter of recommendation. After 6 years or 4 years, they will provide me. I mostly don't want a recommendation while I'm working. I want to resign from your job already, then I will ask for a recommendation so that you can give me a sincere recommendation from your heart. Because if I'm working with you, you might exaggerate it. But after working with you for a number of years, if I ask a recommendation from you, then you will give me a recommendation from sincere, from your honest, from your heart. So with honesty, every entrepreneur can make it. Every entrepreneur can break barriers. Don't think of anything. Move very fast. Whatever you are thinking, somebody is thinking the same way, the same line. So move fast. Have these qualities, move fast. You might break, but you will make. But you have to move. If you don't move as an entrepreneur, somebody will move it. And when they move it, probably they will attract more people before you will be able to develop yourself and attract more customers, more people. They would have found that they have already they have a very strong and very competitive footing in the market. So move fast, have the qualities. Be transformational. You have to be transformational. People can be doing a lot of things that you want to do, but make sure you are transformational. You come with a lot of changes. If people are doing water technology, look at it. What are they doing? What are they're not doing that I can do differently, and I can make a profit? I can attract customers. I can attract the market. So you have to do things differently, transformational. With eWater, we learn a lot based on my expertise, my community development expertise. I have learned a lot from my interaction with people in Tanzania for 2 months. I interacted with this water technology that we are also using, a sort of a smart water technology, Groomforce. Groomforce. Everyone, if you Google Groomforce, you will see Groomforce is also having a smart water technology. But we learned something from them, and we were able to transform, and we did it differently, and we have a competitive footing in the market today. So we have to be transformational, and we have to be what they call entrepreneurial. We must not be depending on grants, be depending on grants. Let us be entrepreneurial. Let us make money from loans. Let us make money from private investment. Let us make money from partnership. Let us do more partnership locally so we can address local problems. Sometimes we don't need to mobilize international funds. We can mobilize local funds. We can involve our local government. We can involve our local authorities. We can even involve local people to become shareholders in the business. So you can drive your business forward. You don't need to wait for grants. Sometimes you don't need to wait for OIC to give you money. You don't need to wait for Silicon Valley to give you money. But you have to you have to learn from what is happening in the communities and what can you do differently from the business that are here. So we want to do justice every time. Let's go. You have a motivational, skillful, and committed. You must be committed to the task. You have to be up to the task. When we say task, it's not about doing the work, but up to the task. When you are with the task, you do it judiciously. you do your work accurately, you do your work as promised, you do your work as planned, if even more than as planned, to make your customers happy, to make your donors happy, your partners happy, your shareholders happy. But most importantly, to make your beneficiaries happy. If beneficiaries are happy, everybody will be happy. So can we move to the next slide? Sorry. So this is the eWater team. If you look at the T-shirt we are wearing here, this is a T-shirt that is a project eWater benefited from eWater. If you Google eWater, you will see them in America, United States of America. They have funded one of our village water system based on the job we're doing, based on the good work that we've been doing across the developing world. They gave us money to support this village on behalf of their charity. So you can see it. Some of the charities cannot come to work, cannot establish here in the Gambia. They don't have that ample time. They don't have the capacity to come to Gambia and establish as eWater, but they are giving us their fund to implement their projects side by side. So we will put their stickers on the project sites. We will put their stickers on our tabs, on all the tabs, to promote the agenda. So we do in partnership across the board. Thanks to eWater for supporting eWater. Yes, this is the end of the slide, right?
Thank you for the great messages, and your presentation was truly informative, intense, and I think inspiring so much. So I guess we have a lot of questions, but we are kind of running out of time. So let me just take a few questions. You can use the raise hand button so I can see who want to ask questions. So if you have any questions, please.
Assalamu alaikum. I have a question to Mustafa. Mustafa, tell me what's your plan for the next of this tape to home? How you can resource this project from tape to home? Everyone home their own their water storage point. Is this possible? We should plan you have using the e-tape transformation.
If I understand your question properly,
can you listen me?
Water storage.
Yeah, I sir, where you first of my question is that what's the source of this water where you come in this e-tape?
Okay, thank you so much. If you look at the video, you can see a water tank. You can see a water tank in the village. You will see a water tank. The video is there. I would love Betul to share the video to anyone, to the platform. If there's a WhatsApp platform, can you please share this video there? You will see a water infrastructure. So in all the villages we are working, we have been a water infrastructure in the villages. Where there is no water infrastructure, we will try to have a water infrastructure. There will be a distribution of water system from the water infrastructure to all the taps. So it's a normal tap. So we will remove the conventional water tap and we will change it to the water system. So we will change it to the water to what we have. So this is why I played the video. I don't know whether you were online during the time of the video, but the video shows there's a water tank and you can see people fetching. So each of the tap is connected to the water tank. So the tank is supplying the taps. So at the end of the tap, that's where we put the e-taps to enable us to collect money so that anyone who collects water will pay this money. So it's a prepaid water reading machine, we can call it. E-tap is a prepaid water reading machine. Yeah, so water is from the main tank. So you understand that typically this tank will serve 30 taps, sometimes 25 taps, 7 taps, depending on the size of the tank. So 60-liter tanks in the Gambia mostly will supply from 18 taps to 36 taps, even more. Typically 20,000 liter tank will serve 7 taps to 12 taps, but this can even serve more than that. But we have a technology, this technology also taught us many lessons that we can even have, we can even reduce the cost of capital funding for a water infrastructure. If a water infrastructure costs $200,000, we can cut it to $270,000 with ETAPs. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we are waiting for the questions. Actually, Mr. Dumbuya will not be with us again, so please just use your chance, ask the questions. Okay, we have a question from Indonesia. Wahyu Wahidin, please.
Thank you for this inspiring story from Mr. Muhammad. From Mr. Mustafa, and thank you for this occasion. I am Wahyu.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have a question about eWater. How do you ensure the quality of the water that produced? That requires the health organization, and for potable and palatable water. And also, how do you maintain the quality of the water? Do you bring the sample to the laboratory, or having a test for make sure that your water is safe? Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother, and thank you for the brilliant question. As I told you earlier, we signed MOU with the Department of Water Resources, the Gambia. So with this MOU, Department of Water Resources will supervise our entire work. They are responsible for testing water to ensure that the water is up to date to the standard of the Gambia. So that is their responsibility, and that they are doing. I remember we drill a borehole, they attack a supervisor, because all the water system that we are working, the water system were built by the government in partnership with Japanese International Cooperative Agency, in partnership with European Union. Some of the water system were Gambia government in partnership with the Saudi Sahelian projects. Some of the water system were in partnership with the USAID, and some of the water system were in partnership with the CDD, Community-Driven Development Projects. So most of the water system are in custodian with the Ministry of Water Resources, with the State Department of Water Resources. So they know everything about the quality and everything. So what the problem is, the machines will fail and there will be no money to fix it, and we will fix it. So they will come and collect this water sample and give us an advice. So they've been collecting the sample, and the water samples are so far been good. Gambia also, we don't have most of the problem in terms of water quality. Thank God, most of the water we have here are quality. We only have a few areas in the Gambia where water quality is a problem. If you want to have a quality water, you have to have a shallow boreholes. You can't have a shallow deep borehole, because shallow boreholes cannot also serve a good population of 4,000, 7,000, 20,000. So therefore, if you want to serve a population of 10,000, 7,000 to 20,000, you have to drill, let's say, 4 shallow boreholes in those places where their water system is polluted deeply, but shallow boreholes are not polluted. So, but notwithstanding, Department of Water Resources is the state resources, state department responsible for ensuring that water consumed by the citizens of the Gambia are standard, quality, clean, yes. And they do the testing at Abuko. They do the testing at Abuko. I know the place. That's their responsibility, and they are doing their job. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a question from Askar Khan from Pakistan. I will just read the question. So he says, my question is, does they follow the WHO guidelines for drinking water quality in respect of toxic metals?
Yeah, thank you so much. I want to make something very clear to the rest of the entrepreneurs, that any government that is subscribed to the Sustainable Development Goal must implement the targets of Sustainable Development Goal. So every country, Gambia, in terms of water resources, is working side by side in achieving the results or the goals of SDG. So yes, they are following the standards, they are following the regulations, and in fact, not only is following the regulation, but we also have a local representative from United Nations in the Gambia that is working with water resources side by side, ensuring that standards are adhered to and standards are also implemented. So yes, they are also doing that, and yeah, they've been doing that. This is why, thank God, we don't have most of the problem. In fact, the data we've collected in the communities from the healthcare system is that, and the discussions we have from the health facility is that after implementation of eWater, the health status of most of the people who complain by stomach ache, stomach complication is reduced. It's reduced because without clean water, people will go and drink from well water, hand pumps. But with eWater, they will drink from clean borehole water. So the health status will be improved and enhanced. Thank you so much for the brilliant question.
Thank you for the answer. Now we have a question from Virba Usmaila Tata, please. We can't hear you actually. Okay.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. Actually, in Cameroon, sorry?
Thank you so much.
Yes, actually, in Cameroon, we do face a lot of challenges, but from your presentation, it shows that you have done a lot of groundwork. And my worry is, I would like to know from you the literacy rate in your country, because before you embark in a project like this, you must have done need assessment in the various communities. Yes, what actually was the challenges that you faced with the communities when you were doing your need assessment, because they maybe have not been able to understand your language, yes, or stuff like that? Or did you start by recruiting your staff from those communities where you are creating an impact to use them to facilitate in your need assessment? Thank you. That's my question.
Okay, you done?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, brother, for a wonderful question. This is why I said I am a community development expert. I have implemented numerous development projects successfully in the Gambia, Senegal, and Guinea-Bissau, well before eWater. So we understand our people very well. I'm a local man because I spent all of my working life in the local rural areas. So we understand. And Gambia, the official language is English, but the local language is Mandinka and Wolof. And most Gambians can speak one or two languages. We have basically 7 to 8 local tribes in the Gambia. But most of these local people can communicate. If I meet with a Wolof will be someone who can speak my language, or I will speak Wolof. So Gambian people can communicate. Language is not a barrier here. It's never a barrier here. Everyone can speak 2 or 3 languages out of the 4. And the most popular spoken language is only one. It's Mandinka. Everyone can understand. 90% or 99% can understand or speak Mandinka. So we did a need assessment. Of course, we did a need assessment. I said earlier in my presentation, when we are a charity as Africa, as eWater, when we were a charity as we call eWater Africa, then it was a charity. It was in a business. We did need assessment. We did collect data. We did do community diagnosing, community preparation to the project. We explain everything in detail. In fact, to be precise, we didn't introduce eWater just like that. We signed contracts. So we signed contracts with villages, and we worked with them for almost 3 months or 6 months, sometimes 1 year. No, 9 months. 9 months without eWater, trying to educate them, trying to show them the water, demonstration of the tap. Sometimes we will fix only 1 tap or 2 tap for people to learn from this tap before we eventually embark on mass implementation of the project. So for data collection, we don't joke with that. We did effective and complete. We didn't have away data or half-hearted data collection. There are 2 data collection: the complete data collection and sampling data collection. But for us in the villages, we do complete data collection from house to house, from compound to compound, to ensure the existing problem, to ensure that we understand the problem. So to ensure collectively we know that this is the solution, and we embrace the solution together. There and then we will implement the water system. And most importantly, our water system in all the villages, the watchman is mostly always the local person, one, and mostly the water agent who sells the water is a local person. So local person is the water agent. We will train him, we will build his capacity, and he will be responsible for selling water credit to the entire community. This must be the person that the local people approve, the local people trust, the local people identify, so that he can be the agent of eWater. We will build that capacity. So it is easy, and now we are even involving other people to be water agents. We don't need to have one person selling water. With IoT, everyone can be a water reseller. You just go to Google app, download eWater app, send more money to eWater agent, eWater office. They will send you credit, and you can sell water anywhere in the world. Yes, you do studies.
Thank you. I will read the next question. The question is from Abdul Muiz from Pakistan. He asked about the main source of water. He says, what you think for eWater tap to home water tank? Is this payment for once or monthly?
If I understand your question, eWater taps currently we are working with communities. We have water station tap, one tap, maybe a radius of maybe from each tap to each tap will be like 100 meter, 150 meter. So we are trying to address UN recommendation of 100 meter. Most of the taps are 100 meter. So in every 100 meter, most of the people can access water. So these meters are for community water supply. But notwithstanding, we are trying to establish, to come up with what we call household meter, where every household can use our water inside their compound. But in the Gambia, most of the rural areas, they don't have showers, they don't have water, and that's very few people are having it. So a great number of people are having water on the streets. So we will go there. We will reach there in the next 5 years. That is the plan. That is the headway, and that is the way forward. Yes, we will do that.
Thank you. For the next question, I guess you already answered that, but let me just ask again. Can you extend your project to Central and West Africa?
Yes, we've extended it to East Africa. In West Africa, we are in the Gambia and Ghana, and we are about to go into Senegal, but there are some regulations that we need to put forward. Still now, we can go to Senegal. But it's possible, but this is based on the business plan. This is based on the local domestic regulations and policy. And because water policy in countries differ, so this is why sometimes it's a problem. So to implement in a different country, you must study very well. Because we were even about to implement this project in Haiti in 2007, after being in the trial with Mobile for World. But because of some regulations in the government policy, we are still not able to expand to Haiti. But we will expand. Expanding to other countries, I think we need the government backing of that particular country, as well as UN as well, because UN is driving sustainable water. Therefore, already UN and World Bank recognize eWater taps. So that is a plus for eWater. Anytime government recommend eWater for UN or for any organization, that wouldn't be a problem. Yes, we can go there based on merging the policies in the Gambia or the eWater policies with the local country policy. Yes, it's possible.
Thank you. And the next question from Mauritania, Sidi Mohamed Taya asks, what is the way to reach out to your organization for a potential collaboration on an eWater project in South African areas? And the second question is, what is the criteria and main struggle that can face your organization in the path of creating new focal points in new countries?
Yeah, as I alluded, the major problem we have in extending eWater to other countries is the policies of that particular country. Most of the countries will have a benchmark of water safe, a benchmark of who is responsible for water. So, like in Tanzania, the way we implement in the Gambia and Tanzania is different, and sometimes this also depends on the influence of the entrepreneur that is backing the technology. Like in the Gambia, I'm very much influential in the Gambia. This is simply because I was one time a government staff, and I implement projects side by side with the government. Then I was working with ADWAC, a charity-based organization. So we were implementing the efforts of the Ministry of Forestry, Ministry of Education, many ministries in the Gambia within ADWAC. So this is why I was able to collaborate with many government senior officials in that project. And when I came to eWater, I become a valuable product to sell the agenda and the concept, because this is based on my influence, my connection with the higher authorities. So if you want eWater technology in your country, sometimes not only the policies, but how influential are you? How influential are you? Because if I can knock the door of my minister and he will answer to me, if I can call the vice president of the Gambia and she will answer to my call, if I can just today move into her compound and ask for her and I will see her, and probably it will be difficult for you to do that in your country based on your influence. So these are all qualities that we need to establish as entrepreneurs. So we must be influential so we can drive. But notwithstanding, it's possible to drive it to your country. You have to be agile. As an entrepreneur, you have to move fast. I will tell you one thing, another secret today. I think it's worth writing. Most of business precedes regulation. Every entrepreneur has to write this. Business precedes regulations. Business precedes regulations. So government will have their regulation that nobody should sell water, or nobody should sell water above this tariff, above this threshold. Nobody should sell water. Government will do this because governments in the world, for me, I say it personally, most government in the world don't understand the realities on the ground. They don't understand. Most governments want to favor what the international donors want to hear, what the international investors want to hear. So most governments, their data is based on intuitions. They are based on just guts. You think about it and you just say it. But as entrepreneurs, our data are quite true. Our data are up to date. The reality is that governments in the third world are not performing well. They are not performing in achieving the SDGs. They are very good at writing. They are very good at presentation, but they are not good at they are not good at implementation. So as entrepreneurs, we talk to government. We become very strong. You have to be very strong in telling government that what you are doing is not working based on this recommendation, based on this study. What you are doing is not working for our people. This is what can work. So in the Gambia, there is a regulation in the Gambia that is not even in line with eWater selling water. But I went to Pura. Pura is the Public Utility Regulatory Authority, Pura. So I went to Pura. I told them, your tariff cannot work. Looking at the resources, the investment needed for water infrastructure. So we cannot have profit if you want us to sell water at this price. So what they said is that, okay, come on, continue with your business. We will do our study. We will give you recommendation. If the tariff you are applying is too much, we will ask you and recommend you for you to reduce it. If what you are doing is fine, if the tariff is good, favorable, we will ask you to continue. But until today, nobody come and said, stop your work. Your tariff is too high, you have to reduce it. Nobody said it. So as an entrepreneur, you have to move first because business precedes regulations. There are many business in many countries, there is no regulations about it. But once you start jumping up, government will start to put regulations and always try to negotiate, always negotiate for a good and a better solution for your business. You must be influential and trying to be influential in your local villages. Try to be part of every work that you do. If you go to my Facebook, I would love to copy my Facebook here. If you go to my Facebook, you will see many jobs that I've been doing with local villages long time, 20 years ago. I was volunteering, doing a lot of jobs for my people. This is why in the Gambia today, many people knew me, many people want to work with me, and most of the NGOs in the Gambia want to work with me. As I am speaking today, there are a lot of NGOs that I'm working on contracts. They are giving me little work, I will do it for them, and life continues. And successfully, I'm even given a new appointment with one of the local NGO, international NGO here in the Gambia, that is looking into the child protection and human rights. So this is based on the influence of your, this is based on how influential you are. Make sure your local people's problems are addressed through your own expertise. Make sure you work for them. You have to work for them. If you want people to give you their money, you have to work for them and solve their problem from what you can. From what you can, not what you cannot, but from what you can. Make sure they love you, they like you, they will support you. And when they support you, government will never ask you, government will never disturb you. When people love you, government become very careful about you. But if they touch you, people will jump. So make sure your people love you. And people will never work for you if you don't work for them. People will never work for you if you don't give your time. You have to live with them. Eat from what they eat. Don't tell them your water is dirty, your food is dirty, I cannot sleep here. Sleep with them. Sleep in local villages. Be local. If you are local, the local people will like you and they will love you. Once they support you, nobody can denounce you. That is my message to the entire entrepreneurs across the globe.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. You are really so inspiring and you are motivating all of the people here, I guess. So let's just move to the last question because, we are running out of time.
Yeah.
The last question is, what do you think about international investor in this project?
Yeah, there's no problem for any international investor who will come and invest into the eWater. If you can come and spend your money, then you will have a return. The doors of eWater are open to any international donor who want to come and invest. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I think it was a
I have my question, if you allow me, Mr. Dul.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Mustafa, I believe you have your water resource as the boreholes digging, is it?
Yeah.
And
water resources in the Gambia. Yes.
Yeah, and that boreholes Common is doing, yeah, right?
Boreholes cannot.
No, who is doing the boreholes for the resources of the water, sources of the water? You are making the boreholes?
Yes, we are doing the borehole. I remember we drilled a borehole in 2 communities. Currently, we are working in 9 villages in the Gambia. In 9 villages in the Gambia, we drilled 2 boreholes. But the rest of the boreholes were already drilled by the government, but the taps were not working simply because the water infrastructure, when it comes to the submersible pumps, solar panels were all worn out, not working. Pumps were not working, inverters were not working, and electrical installations were not working. And we came and we invested into this, and we make sure everything is working fine. And then people start paying for water because now the water is flowing. So where there is no water, we put water infrastructure, but we only put in 2 villages because from the first 2 years is learning. the second 1 year, 4 to 7 months, we were learning, and we didn't actually put any eWater tap. So in the middle of the second year, middle of second year, that we put eWater version 1. And when we put version 1, it kept working, and we drilled 2 there, and then we drilled 2 boreholes. One of the borehole wasn't directly drilled by eWater, but as I alluded, it was drilled by a Horse and Donkey project in United States, United Kingdom, UK. They gave us the funds, and we drilled it, and we put the stickers there. The second borehole was funded by St. Mark Church in United States of America, UK, United Kingdom, and we put their stickers there. So basically, eWater is not into drilling boreholes, but we drill borehole based on the type of donor we have. If you give us money to drill a borehole, obviously
just for others to understand, those who are participating from Africa, or those who are participating here from the very far areas, which is not having much accessibility of the water. Mr. Mustafa's entrepreneurship is very much into a management of the water. Sources of the water is provided by the government or NGOs who has done the boreholes in the water sources there in the area. Then from that sources, Mr. Mustafa's startup is doing the infrastructure from that boreholes and management of the water as well as the distribution. This is the concept of the project as far as I understand.
Yes.
Yeah, it is very much interrelated with the e-payment system. It is very much interrelated with the technology, as well as it is very much interrelated with the technical expertise and technical support of the management of the water resource. This is what I understood. Just is my question is coming. If the water is the government water, if the one beneficiary is the villagers, why you are selling the water, Mustafa? Why you are getting their money from the people? Water is the government water, and the beneficiary is the villagers. Why you are taking their money? I mean, what is the reason?
Yeah, brilliant question. Many people will ask this question. Even sometimes some villages will ask this question, but it is left on how you respond to the question. In most of the villages we are working, already we found that there is a problem. There is already a problem. Their water system is not working. The taps are not working. The taps are not giving water simply because the water system is having a problem. The pump is not working. It's costly. The inverter is not working. It's costly, especially these big inverters. The solar systems were not working. Sometimes the tanks are even having many leaks where you need to fix. So it will need an investment. It will need an investment. And also, remember, we are also buying some of these taps people are making. We are buying it. We are buying taps. They are not for free. Taps cost money. And the data we receive, the data we buying for our transactions is money. Vehicles that we are running here in the Gambia, our office, is money. So we need money to pay all this so we can have sustainable water for the communities. So people need to pay for water. We tell them that because you people doesn't have any platform, you don't have any mean of collecting water, so that when a problem happens, you can fix it, because problem is inevitable. Problem is inevitable. There must be a problem. And when there is a problem, you have to fix it so we can have water 24 hours. So villages will understand us, yeah, because we are not collecting money, or because we are collecting money but it's not sufficient, or because we are collecting money but not in the safe hands. Because you understand, Gambia is a country that people are very interconnected. If somebody embezzles money, you cannot sue him to court sometimes, because we are very much related. Very small country, and we are very much related. You do something wrong, people will not take you to court. So They don't have any means of collecting money and storage and also, managing. So we have a platform to collect money, platform to manage the money, and platform to ensure that we also fix problems. We also see problems online and fix it. And this platform requires money. So this is why we ask money for their sustainability. So basically, they are not paying for money. They are paying for the service we are providing. We tell the villages, you are not paying for the water. The water infrastructure belongs to you. You own it. You are paying the service we are delivering to you. And there and then they will understand it very well. But others were telling me at the initial stage before they understand, hey, are you mad? Why are you, where? we own the water, Mustafa. They will tell me in Mandinka, Najio. How do you Najio Wafi? Anyway, don't mind my language. They will say, how can we buy our own water? How is this possible? But when you explain to them, they will understand. You tell them this water belongs to you. It's your water. Don't worry. After 5 years, it belongs to you. So all what we're doing is to manage it for you for 5 years. Basically, after 5 years, if you're happy, we can move on to the next phase again, the next 5 years, if you want. So that is it. If I don't answer your question, remind me to answer it properly.
Thank you. It is very clear. Thank you very much.
I was about to end the session, but we have 2 more questions. If you can ask very fastly, then we can take them. Mr. Kemaluddin, you can raise your question, but please be precise. And
yes, please. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
we can hear you actually.
Hello.
Hello, yes, I can hear you now.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, please.
Yes, we are listening. Yes,
Great.
yes,
Thank you so much. That was a very, very good presentation and a great idea, and you're doing you're contributing to the world a very good initiative. Thank you so much for that, and keep it up and going on. So my question is, when you have started the initiative in the remotest areas where you mentioned in the last villages, so which I have experienced in the remotest areas of Pakistan, the communities are stereotype mindset, so they faces hurdle to accept the new changes, particularly for, regarding the technological issues and in the financial issues as well. So you are dealing with the e-pay system, and the most critically their rights for the water as well. So what were the core hurdles for you to manage closely with the communities in the remotest region where you have formed this initiative? Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for that brilliant question. Yeah, if you need, I don't know if I get a soft copy of my contract, but I don't have any problem. Later, I can send you a soft copy if you contact me. So this contract, we learned a lot from the local communities. This is why in the Gambia, we have an existing water committees. Most of the villages have water committees before eWater. These water committees were established by Department of Water Resources. These water committees will collect water, money, but sometimes the money that they collect is not sufficient. Sometimes even sufficient, they will embezzle the money. So our greatest challenge is to transfer the power, to solicit the power from the water committee to eWater now, to solicit the operations of the water system from the water committees to eWater. This was a problem. But thank God, with my expertise, you look at all the eWater villages today in the Gambia. These were villages, or most of the villages are villages that I knew long time before eWater. These were villages I worked before eWater. So they knew me very well. We've been working in different projects before eWater for some time. So anyway, it was a challenge, but I try to use my expertise, to use my influence, so they can give us the power. They don't have a problem, but they will say, "Oh, we have to be on the center." They say, "Come on, but if we collect money and we need money to fix a problem, can you travel 200 kilometers and sign our check?" Because when we need money, money is at the bank. We need somebody need to sign the check, and it can be one person. Myself, I will sign a check as a director of the company, managing director of the company. My assistant, that is the manager of credit, must also sign before a check is released, before the bank will accept. If you want to be a signatory, you will travel every time 200 kilometers to come and sign a check, and nobody will pay for you. They say, that's too much. We cannot do that. So what we did is that we transferred some part of management to them. They were responsible for minor maintenances. They were responsible for communicating some of the problems that we cannot see with our cloud. Because the cloud will tell us there's a problem on the leakages. We will see that we are losing some water, but we might not know where the water leakage is. Somebody have to go around the village and understand the water, where the water is leaking. So the local people, we are paying them every month $1,000 is their committee. We are paying them $25, something like that. So they will, if there is a leakage, they will phone me and say, hey, Mustafa, there's a leakage here, come and fix it. I will send someone to come and fix it. You understand what I mean? So we paying them money so that they can live, they can give us the power. You know, they can sign our contract because they will sign a contract. If they don't accept eWater, we cannot work with them. So they have to transfer the power. They have to say, yes, we are willing to transfer you the power. So what we did, and I initiated that. I said, fine, we will pay you 1,000 every month. If there's a leakage, please inform us that there's a leakage. If there is a vandalism in the village, please make us understand. But thank God we don't find more challenges with them. There is only one stubborn village that we found problem with, and we end up dissolving the contract. That is only one village so far since we started, but the rest of the villages are still working with eWater. Yes. So yeah, there are minor challenges insignificant. Those were insignificant because every business must have challenges. But the biggest challenges were the water committees, and since we were able to overcome them, and sometimes in some villages also, some water committee will volunteer and say, oh, since you are going to pay the watchman, I will be the watchman. If you can pay me, I'll be the watchman. So we will pay them every month to become the watchman as well, because we need a watchman who will safeguard the water infrastructure, the solar panels, the water, submersible water machine, and also the inverter. We need someone to secure them. So this person will be responsible for securing that part of the water system. So if I answer your question properly, let me know.
Okay, thank you so much. Before losing this opportunity, I would just add a minor question, please. There is any appreciation from the community level you have received ever until now, apart from cash prizes from the UK? There is any appreciation letter or appreciation ceremony or appreciation words or anything that from the community you have been appreciated?
Yeah, eWater have been doing eWater Day. We normally do eWater Day where we will converge community people at one place and they will talk about some of the challenges that they've seen or some of the improvement that they think we can address. The first version of eWater will dispense 20 liters in every 3 minutes. This was a concern, and the second version of eWater will withdraw 20 liters in less than a minute. So that was a recommendation that we got from local people every year. We do an eWater Day, then people can explain. It's a sort of a jubilation day. People will tell their challenge, will explain their challenges and some of the improvement that they think we can do to make life easier and more easier for them. And the tax we were using before, some of them will run out within 3-4 months if you are careful with them or if you keep on, if they keep on having contact with water. But now the tack we have are very strong enough that even if you put them, if you shock them in the water for 1 week, there is no problem. So we got all these recommendations from the local people. We are learning from them. As I told you, we are living with them. So Gambia also is a very small country where you can use Gambia as a study. If you study any project here or any technology here, you will be able to regulate it and manage it anywhere because the entire length of the country is less than 500 kilometers. You can run the whole country south and north in less than 12 hours. So that is a plus for any business that is doing a study or a trial here in Gambia. So that is it. We are learning from them day in and day out. Okay, to add on a little bit on top of it, I said it in my presentation. I said mostly I don't ask for recommendation while I'm working. I hardly do that. I will wait until the job is finished, then we will ask for recommendation. So we're gonna wait until eWater phase out in the Gambia or in some of the project and totally, then we will ask them to write a recommendation or appreciation letter for us so we can show to the entire world. Because if we do it now, maybe it might not be authentic that much because we're working now. It might not be authentic. They might exaggerate it based on our relationship. So personally, all the recommendation letters I got from my previous employee, I got them sometimes 6 years or 5 years or 2 years after my resignation. Then I will ask for recommendation so I can have an authentic recommendation. I want people to write about me freely and fairly. Yes.
Thank you so much, dear Mustafa. Have a good day and keep it up. Thank you very much for this great presentation. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, appreciate it.
Thank you. I think this is the end of the session. Thank you for the participants and for the great presentation. It was a really fruitful session, I think. For the photo session, can you please open your cameras and wave your hands? Let's take a photo, then we will end the session. If everybody is ready. Thank you. I think that's enough. So see you next week, inshallah.
Thank you so much.
Again.
Thank you, ICYF and OIC. Thank you so much. Thank you all for showcasing our business. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Amen. Thank you so much.